So, quick thing. Did I hear that your dad was on stage with you?
Yeah. So
Tell me about that.
When we sold out the show, my dad had jokingly in passing said to me that, hey, you've opened for me many times, which I have throughout the years, and some of my first shows were opening for my father. It'd be cool. I'll return the favor.
What's his name, by the way?
Jody Raffoul.
Okay.
And I was like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. So as a like kind of treat, once the show sold out, we were like, let's announce this. And my father did a 30-minute acoustic set of one of the defining albums for me, which was Simple Life, his record, Simple Life.
Beautiful.
And he played it front to back. Omitting one song, and then he joined me on stage later for the encore to play that one together.
How did Dad feel when you said, hey, I want to do this for a living too?
Well, it was kind of like getting into the family business, so it wasn't much of a conversation. It's just like
He was like, yeah, man, go for it.
Yeah, it'd be hard, I guess, to he did all the hard work explaining to my grandparents that he wanted to be a musician, so that kind of he had the hard conversation. Now I'm just like, I want to do what you do. And he's like, all right.
How did he enable that? Like, was there an instrument he gave to you? Where did the music start for you?
There was guitars all over the house growing up. The thing that was funny was me having to play the guitar upside down at first because I'm left-handed and he's a righty. So
that's so interesting.
It was like accessible, but then also not, and that kind of forced me to like, adapt and look at the guitar a little differently, which I'm so grateful for because that's
very cool.
Fun thing.
Okay, sound-wise, I just have to bring this up because, we've discussed it with a couple colleagues. Your sound has that kind of like New Jersey vibe. I've heard people compare you to The Boss. I've heard people compare you to Brian Fallon of the Gaslight Anthem.
That's amazing.
Is that, I was going to say, is that good? Does that make you feel good?
Big compliments, absolutely. I'm a huge Bruce fan. I have been my whole life. My dad's been playing his records since I was a kid, so I've heard my dad's interpretations of his songs. Greetings is one of my favorite records ever.
Beauty.
As well as like Darkness on the Edge of Town, which I know is a common favorite of his, and Brian Fallon's phenomenal too,
So if you're doing an interview at any radio station, like anywhere in the world, and maybe the audience is learning of you for the first time, like who do you compare your sound to if you get to be in charge of the narrative?
I mean, it's so hard. I mean, I think it's hard to talk about yourself in general, but like I'm inspired by so many different things that it's such a melting pot, and like my upbringing was such a melting pot of music because I got my parents, decades of music. My dad's only ever been a musician, so I had his influence, strong influence right away. I know who I love.
Tell me.
Like I obviously Bruce, the Beatles are first in my mind. Neil Young, Joni Mitchell. These are people that
the great songwriters.
Songwriters, I guess, at the heart of it, and people who have been able to like captivate rooms with acoustic guitars as well as with the band. And that's the big thing for me is like I want to be able to kind of transform and when you show up to a set, it's not going to be the same.
I love that. Do both. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. Okay. Now my last question is about what you have coming up, and you're going to drop a little announcement here.
Yes, we're going to be performing at the Phoenix on June 9th for part of Canadian Music Week. I don't know when I'm supposed to talk about that, but it's coming up, and it's going to be our biggest show
yet?
Yeah, maybe. And then
there's going to be a few more people in that room than the Horseshoe Man, so I hope you're ready.
I really hope so. My joke was that, if everybody at the Horseshoe brings a couple friends, we'll be all right. And I opened for the Glorious Sons at the Phoenix in 2017 in the fall, and it was 2 shows.
I was at one of those shows. The energy in the room was amazing.
I hope you're at the first one.
Yes, I was actually.
Okay, well then, and we were in the middle of a U.S. tour, and we popped up to do these shows, and we didn't know how much of like a party it was going to be, and I ended up losing my voice completely after the show.
Blame it on Brett.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't keep up with those guys. It's like, so I had no voice the next day. I was just completely toast, and I had to bail on the second show. And Brett, who I don't think slept that night, calls me.
Sounds like Brett.
In the afternoon, is like, "Hey man, like I heard you're not feeling well." I can't even like talk. Like it's not that I wasn't feeling.
Hi, Brett.
And he goes, "Try these vocal warm-ups. Try these exercises." And he's trying to help. He was so sweet, trying to help me through it. And
I love that.
Man, I appreciate it so much, and it killed me to drop out. But I've seen them since, and kind of jumped on stage with JJ, history with them, opening for them, and
There's more shows with the Gloria Sons to come down the road, I'm sure.
I really hope so, because I was super bummed about that. But what a great band and crew.
Well, thank you so much for dropping by the studio and chatting with us about everything that's happened and to come. And we'll see you at the next gig.
Thank you so much for having me. Can't wait.